So guys, the FOMC meeting happened today. 25 BPS cut, altcoins are starting to pump, and Bitcoin is about to rip. There are some specific indicators that I want to cover with you today that is pretty much pointing to the fact that this is going to cause altcoins to rip super freaking hard. I want to cover the specific indicators. On top of that, the news in the market with the FOMC meeting, as well as perspectives on the space of what's currently taking place. But overall, if you're new to my channel, go ahead and check out the rest of my content. I'm an intermediate trader documenting my journey since 2023, keeping you guys updated on the markets, showing you guys my wins and losses, and overall just showing you guys how you can capitalize on the markets to make extreme gains. Right now there's some big indicators leading to the fact that altcoins are about to rip super hard, and I want to jump into it. Other than that though, let's jump into it. Alright guys, so Bitcoin is currently pumping, sitting at 76,000. Once the FOMC meeting came out today, we're sitting at around 75,000 earlier, and we started to pump up. Justin Bennett talks about with the FOMC meeting, pretty much his predictions based off of what's currently taking place, and he covers some indicators that are super huge, pointing to the fact that liquidity is about to start moving into altcoins, and I want to cover it right now. So overall, it says, GM legends and happy FOMC day. Given the upcoming volatility, I'm watching for Bitcoin to potentially sweep the 73K area for a long into 78 to 80K resistance. How did he determine the resistance, and where did this trend line come from? And he says, go ahead and continue reading. He says, before anyone freaks out, know that I am not suggesting this will end like 2021, 2022. That said, markets never forget, and structurally Bitcoin has been sideways all year. So I'm willing to bet this trend line with the same angle as the 2021 highs serves as resistance. And he's pretty much basing it off of the previous bull run that we saw, guys, in 2021 and 2022. He goes on to keep talking about that chart. He says, what's fascinating is that these 2021 highs occurred in April and November, very similar to this year's March and November. We saw peaks for coins, guys, back in March, which I talked about all over this YouTube channel, and also now we've seen the peaks practically in November with prices starting to shoot up. And he says November pending price action. Even more interesting is that the second peak in 2021 occurred on November 10th. Today is the 7th. So pretty much, you know, once we started to see that next big peak, it was around that November 10th mark, and right now it's the 7th, guys. We're 3 days away from the 10th. Again, I'm not suggesting this will be the macro top, but I do think it's incredibly interesting and worth monitoring if you're trading these markets. And then he goes on to say, additionally, Bitcoin short liquidations are building at 78 to 80K. It's a magnet, and Tether dominance is showing support at 4.68%, likely equaling Bitcoin at 78 to 80K. And we've been talking about USDT, the dominance of and everything starting to break down, which is super huge for that liquidity starting to move into altcoins. He says, remember, Tether dominance moves inversely to Bitcoin. Ideally, we get a pullback following today's FOMC meeting before the push into 78 to 80K. So guys, that's pretty much Justin Bennett's predictions. And based off of that, you know, he was talking about seeing a pullback. Right now, we are not seeing any pullback. And the whole price point that we've been talking about staying above is around that 72.6 mark, which was the recent close for October. Right now, if we can stay above that mark, more than likely we're going to be shooting upwards, guys. And on top of that, you know, we have big events happening. The FOMC meeting came out. Fed cuts, the Fed cut rates by 25 BPS as expected. The decision was unanimous at this time. The FOMC meeting, though, statement had minimal changes. Also, there's a ton of news which is super bullish for the US. Russia says it won't ditch the US dollar after Trump's victory, and also Russia wants to, you know, repartner up with the US as well as China, which is super huge, guys, in terms of for the US economy and how everything is happening. On top of that, Detroit, Michigan becomes the largest US city to accept Bitcoin and crypto for taxes, which is really crazy. If you're not really thinking about it, this is the start of adoption, guys, for multiple states. And once multiple states start to initiate this, we're going to see much more liquidity go into the markets. Once that Bitcoin and USDT starts to break down, overall, we're going to see that liquidity shift into altcoins. ILO gives a great perspective as to, you know, what's currently going on and why right now is super bullish. And he says the current macro and crypto landscape couldn't be more bullish. US favorable towards crypto for the first time in its history. First pro-Bitcoin president who also launched a DeFi project. US will create a Bitcoin strategic reserve, which there's a whole bunch of news around that. Nation state game theory may start to play out, and also other countries are, you know, hearing that and wanting to see exactly exactly how they can start to jump in. Early in the monetary easing cycle with global liquidity expansion to come, Bitcoin just broke out of the 7-month of consolidation. The longer the consolidation, the stronger the move, guys. Despite this, I'm still seeing so much PTSD from the bear market. Many people are still trying to sell the first green candle they see on a new alt. This industry has been held down for years by corrupt regulation in the US. The whole industry and asset class is a literal beach ball underwater. And ignore all of the day traders that say there is no adoption or use cases. They couldn't be more wrong. Smart contract blockchains are like 5 years old, and many verticals are soon to hit inflection points. Stable coins are already the future of payments, and all of TradeFi is about to tokenize everything. Some of you have forgotten how insane a crypto bull market can really get. We have the conditions and setup for something extraordinary over the next 6 to 12 months. Manifest your destiny. Dream bigger. Guys, right now the markets are super huge. If you're not invested in the markets, you're not keeping up with these events, you are going to miss out. And overall right now is the huge shift, guys, from, you know, Bitcoin, these stable coins and USDT and everything over into altcoins, and you need to position yourself. Altcoins right now, if we look at the meme sector, compared to yesterday, you know, once we had the aftermath of the US election, we were up yesterday in the meme sector around like 10-12%. Everything is still pumping quite nicely for the 7-day, but on the 24-hour chart, you can see everything isn't pumping as nicely. If we look at AI, same thing is happening over here. Yesterday, it was pumping around 10-12%. Right now, it's only up around 1.7, but for the 7-day and 24-hour chart, we still look quite nice. Right now, if you look at my portfolio, guys, a lot of my coins are performing extremely well. For the 24-hour, if you look at the 7-day, some of them, you know, not too hot. But overall, right now, guys, we're starting to see rips, and you really need to be focusing on the coins that start to get that, you know, jump up before the rest of the market. These are the stronger coins. These are the coins that people are gravitating towards, and you really need to focus on it. Right now, we've been preaching AI and meme coins, and if you're not invested into those sectors, I really implore you to go check out those sectors. Also, go check out my recent videos talking about the AI sector as well as the meme coins. I'm going to drop another video talking about meme coins, updated video. But overall, guys, that's currently what's happening and why altcoins are about to freaking rip up. I'll go ahead and cover everything real quick synopsis of the video. Overall, we're trading at around 76,000, not 60, 76,000. Right now, we need to stay above that 72.6 mark just because that was the recent monthly close. Right now, Justin Bennett has been giving his predictions as to what is going to be happening. He thinks with the FOMC meeting that has already occurred, which we saw a 25 BPS cut, which was bullish for the markets. Overall, Justin Bennett kind of believes that we're going to be trading a little bit sideways and then shooting up to that 78 to 80K to set up for resistance. Overall, he kind of compared the previous bull run, you know, in 2021 and 2022, and based off of the timelines when we started to see peaks for the price action. Basically what we saw in March and now in November, we saw that with previous markets, whenever we see that previous price action, it happened on November 10th. Right now is November 7th, so we're 3 days away before Bitcoin started to get that crazy price action. Right now, there's a whole bunch of bullish news for the US. Russia is starting to lift up its, you know, I guess like negativity against the US. They're talking about strengthening the relations again. They're talking about not abandoning the US dollar. So overall, you know, relationships with big countries is starting to get strong, and this is really bullish leading up to everything that's happening in the markets. On top of that, bigger things are happening in the US. Detroit, Michigan becomes the largest US city to accept Bitcoin and crypto for taxes. Guys, this is the start of mass adoption for each state within the United States. From there, it's going to start to get crazier and crazier. ILO gives a great perspective as to what is currently going on in the crypto markets and why you should be super bullish on what's currently happening. Just pretty much with the events of pretty much the US presidential election that happened, the idea of a Bitcoin strategic reserve for the US. On top of that, you know, monetary easing cycle, Bitcoin breaking out of its consolidation phase, and multiple other news events that are super huge. Right now, meme coins and AI coins, overall altcoins are starting to pump, and you need to position yourself so that you can make overall those 5, 10, and potentially 20 to 50 X's. Guys, right now, that's currently what's happening in the markets. We're about to see a huge shift of liquidity from Bitcoin and those, top tier coins into altcoins. And if you aren't positioning yourself, you aren't aware of the price action that's currently happening, you are going to miss out. Right now, you really need to be keeping up with the price action around Bitcoin just to see if we have a pullback and then a shoot up to around that 78 to 80K region. From there, we might set up resistance from there, just all based off of what's happening in the markets, specific news events, and everything else in between. But guys, if you're new to my channel, go and check out the rest of my content. I'm an intermediate trader documenting my journey since 2023, showing you guys my wins, my losses, keeping you guys updated on the events that are happening in the markets, as well as how you guys can capitalize on these events. Overall, guys, we're about to see a shift in liquidity from Bitcoin into altcoins, and we've been waiting for this for the past 5 months. I've been talking about it, and finally it is happening. So overall, you need to position yourself, you need to keep up with the markets, and that's the whole point of this YouTube channel. I'm gonna keep you guys updated with exactly what's happening, specific events that you really need to focus on, and then other than that, altcoins that I'm investing in so that we can make those crazy gains. But right now is the time to lock in, guys. There's a whole bunch of stuff happening, and a whole bunch of FUD information as well, so I don't want you to fall into that. I like to make these quick, concise videos, 10 to 15 minutes, giving you exactly what you need, just so you can keep on moving throughout your day and have an understanding of what's potentially going to happen. But overall, hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next one. I drop daily content every day, so stay tuned. But other than that, drop me a comment, like, subscribe. I really do appreciate all the support you guys show me on this YouTube channel. Also, go follow me on X. For all y'all that are not new to the channel, I appreciate y'all listening to me babble on. Overall, I'm trying to get monetized on my X account as well as on this YouTube channel, just so I can go full-time into trading, and help everyone else that's trying to get started just like me. But other than that, guys, that's what's currently happening. Keep up with the markets, and I'll keep you guys updated in tomorrow's video. Other than that, peace.